holding them in custody. Now it looks like, okay, from what you can't see is I'm standing on my tippy toes trying to get a look at all of this, and it appears there's somebody else on the ground more to the left, not within this line of sight that perhaps our other camera is showing better. But you can see it looks like multiple police officers are escorting them away. This all as the worship music is beginning to ramp up in the distance from this evangelical group. So this is just maybe a block over from where all of the activity for the Rattle of Seattle is happening.
Rattle of Seattle, all in the name of Jesus. Hold on.
I want to go back a little bit just to, if people are just joining us and they're wondering, hey, what is going on here? So this all stems from over the weekend when we had some Christian groups who were, wanted to hold a rally at Cal Anderson Park, and then they had counter protesters who were upset about their message and saying that, they were not agreeing with that message, and so it led to mass arrests. But it took several hours for SPD over the weekend to make those arrests after there were things thrown at them, and there was some of that stuff going on. But today, this evening, it looks as though they have moved very quickly. As you can see, they're taking this man, away. That's an evangelical Christian, into one of the vehicles there. But it looks like SPD, they're moving pretty quickly today. Is it because things, got off really heated right off the bat, or is it because of just the large crowd? Is it just that out of control? Kind of describe that part to us.
I would say, so Hannah, I would say I wasn't there on Saturday, but from what I can tell you is that there were 22 arrests over the span of 5 hours. So there were multiple little flare-ups, you might say, throughout
what is that? Tears of
the
joy?
time at Cal Anderson Park. And from what I'm seeing out here, that appears to be the case
sweating?
as
Maybe
well.
he's sweating?
Tension points. Counter-protesters going face-to-face with protesters, things escalating. I know there was some frustration with folks not being let into the event, and I believe that is why some of this is spiraling. But there are questions, though. On Saturday at Cal Anderson, did Seattle police on bikes, much like you see right now, did they take things way too far? Did they use excessive force to detain folks? So obviously, I'm not the one to make that call here. I'm going to let people outside seeing the footage decide for themselves. But we know the King County Prosecutor's Office, in deciding whether or not to move forward with some of these cases, is going to be looking at all the video like what you're watching right now, captured in is the arrest warranted? And that will be the question moving forward, because as I said, 22 arrests on Saturday, and a number of those folks were in court yesterday, and I was there for that. Now, it appears to be there's some movement towards the back of the van, and potentially another point of contention at one of our other cameras. But things are escalating really, really, really fast here.
And as we kind of take in all these images and we stick with this coverage live, just so people get a better idea of how this is unfolding with these two factions all coming to a head, I want our viewers to kind of understand some context. And Lauren, I know you've been on top of this story. So it's not just the opposition. It's not just the two messages that aren't meshing together between these evangelicals and this LGBTQ group that is wanting to just show support. We are now getting to a point where there is a lot of questions about how the city handled this. And now there is no permitting process for this. So if you could just kind of walk our viewers through this as they take in these images, how do we get to this point where it kind of feels like a powder keg?
Powder keg, perfect word, Matt. So what I think is a big takeaway of all of this, both sides, the LGBTQ advocates, the trans advocates that were counter-protesting in Cal Anderson, and then the Christians, evangelicals that they were there in protest of, both of the sides here, they are both mad at Mayor Bruce Harrell. They're questioning the city's permitting of Cal Anderson Park, right there, smack dab in the heart of Seattle's LGBTQ community. Why would you give a controversial group a permit for that space? Think back to Chaz, think back to CHOP. That was ground zero for it all. So there has been questions over should they have been granted a permit that they originally applied for to rally instead, this evangelical group down at Pike Place instead of Cal Anderson. And both these groups, as I said, they're very mad at the mayor. One of the groups, let's talk about the evangelicals, they think that the mayor has unfairly pointed the finger at them, saying they're antagonists. And then the other side, the counter-protesters flying the trans flag, they're mad that the mayor said there were folks who actually infiltrated the counter-protest and that those were the bad actors that were arrested. They say, hey, the 22 arrested at Cal Anderson, these folks are our friends, our fellow activists. Antifa. They are not.
They look like Antifa to me.
There protesting for what they believe in. So, two opposing sides here. I don't know if you can hear the music in the distance growing louder and louder. As I said, this is the middle of the Rattle of Seattle. These are evangelical Christian folks from throughout Seattle, largely.
All right, what happened, right? Some people wondering what happened, man. What happened? So what I'm reading here, according to sources on the internet, the Rattle in Seattle protest at a Seattle City Hall is a response to the escalating tensions between conservative Christians and Mayor Bruce Harrell following a contentious rally at Cal Anderson Park over the weekend. So maybe you're wondering what happened at Cal Anderson Park over the weekend. On Saturday, May 24th, a conservative Christian organization known for its anti-trans and anti-abortion stands held a rally at the Cal Anderson Park in Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood, a historically LGBTQ plus area. The event was met with a significant counter-protest organized under the banner "Keep Your Bible Off Our Bodies," oh snap, which condemned the rally as anti-queer, anti-trans, anti-life, anti-blah, blah, blah initiative led by far-right activists. Clashes between the two groups ensued, resulting in 23 arrests and injuries to police. Why are conservatives Christians protesting? In the aftermath, Mayor Hall issued a statement criticizing the rally's location choice, suggesting it was intended to provoke the local LGBTQ plus community. He also mentioned that anarchists infiltrated the counter-protests, leading to violence. Conservative Christian groups, including the Pursuit NW and Mayday USA, perceived the mayor's comments as an attack on their First Amendment rights and religious freedoms. They organized this Rattle in Seattle protest to demand an apology and, in some cases, the mayor's resignation. But now the LGBTQ people are upset and they mad. So now the LGBTQ is upset. The Christians upset. The LGBTQ is upset. So it says here that the LGBTQ activists and advocates and counter protesters are frustrated. Oh my God, I was muted the whole time. Y'all kidding me. Oh no, I wasn't muted. All right, good. I thought I was for a second. Ooh, I was gonna lose it, bro. Imagine I said all that. So the LGBTQ, they upset also because they say the advocates and counter protesters are frustrated that the city permitted a rally by a group they view as promoting hate speech. So you got the hate speech, you got the love speech, the anti, the isms, everything, racism, homophobism, cancerism, ismism. They argue that allowing such events at these safe spaces undermines the safety and well-being of the community. While Mayor Harrell acknowledged the provocative nature of the rally's location, some feel the city's response was insufficient in protecting marginalized groups. So they had a Rattle in Seattle protest today, just now. That was some of it. I don't know if there's any other videos we could see of that. Rattle in Seattle. Did they get off? Rattle in Seattle. LGBTQ is upset. The Christians upset. The mayor's upset. Oh, we got a chase. Y'all motherfucker ready? We got a chase. We got a chase. Y'all ready? We got a chase. Oh, shit. Y'all ready? Yo, you know we got to do it. Oh, it's only 900 people here? Man, y'all tripping, bro. I went on that all last year. Y'all, it's only 200 people, 5 people here. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. You stream. Y'all just left me. Y'all disappoint me. I'm kidding. Not the 900 here. LGBTQ upset. QTRIX upset. Human rights upset. Pro-life upset. Pro-motorless upset. Gays upset. Straights upset. Sideways upset. He came up, baby. We on and popping. Y'all ready for the chase?
area.
Alrighty, we're gonna switch you guys over. New stream.
In this general area.
Here's the link.
South
dropping
LA,
the link.
on Imperial a lot of the time.
That's a
but
dirt
now
bike,
just
baby.
made that turn northbound onto Figueroa. So we're in the area of Figueroa and 112th Street here in South LA.
Ileana, do we have any idea what the original want was for this?
Who cares? I'm just kidding.
As far as we know, Colleen, it did come out.